Good afternoon from the Circus Sports at the Mint Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Ross Johnston. We've had a couple trades in the NFL today, both involving the Houston Texans. First, the Texans sent starting right tackle Titus Howard to the Cleveland Browns in exchange for a fifth-round pick. Then the Detroit Lions traded running back David Montgomery to the Texans for offensive lineman Juice Scruggs, a fourth-round pick, and a seventh-round pick. Also, moments ago, the Washington Commanders announced they will be releasing veteran cornerback Marshawn Lattimore, which will save them $18.5 million in cap space this offseason. Tennessee let another double-digit lead slip away as they fell on Saturday, 71-69 to Alabama. Jacoby Gillespie led the way with 26 points as the Vols moved to 20-9 on the year, but did stay in the AP poll ranked number 23. Vanderbilt also took a tough loss on the road at Kentucky, 91-77 to move to 22-7 on the year. Tyler Tanner led the way with 19 in that one, and the Commodores moved to number 24 in the polls. Tonight we have another top 5 matchup in college hoops as number 2 Arizona hosts number 4 Iowa State in a Big 12 showdown on ESPN. Tip-off is scheduled for 8 p.m. For all your foundation repair and your waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans of Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors, 615-737-1045. New look, same cover 2. No glasses. It is weird. It is weird not having glasses.
You have a new look. Let's get that statement correct.
Hey, to be honest, I saw the Combine video. You haven't really aged a lot. I was like, and that's the weird thing I feel like about for whatever reason.
I can't believe
you look almost the exact same. Hair may be a little different.
Yeah, it was a little bit different. My head was a nice little square. You know, I was looking like I was in the weight room a lot.
Yeah, but you shared that clip of you running, and I was like, man, that looks just like the same.
I have to admit, multiple people text me. I did not see it live. It was a promo right before, I guess the last day or second to last day. I don't know what day it was. But who was first? I cannot believe it. I'm going to tell you, he works here.
Oh.
CJ.
Really?
CJ texts me and said, hey, man, did you go to the Combine? And I'm like, what the heck is he talking about? And then he said, I think I saw you. And I was like, oh, what are you talking about? Send it to me. And then he sends me the promo. And so multiple people, they just text me, but they didn't send me the video.
Yeah.
He actually sent the video from TV. So that's who I got it from because, I wasn't, where I had a TV where I was at. So, yeah, that was actually funny as heck, man, because the other guy was Gilbert Brown.
Yeah.
The gravedigger, for Green Bay, number 93. But I just cut and spliced it. So, yeah, man, that was pretty cool, man. That was.
I swear, I saw that. I was like, was this taken yesterday? Because, I'm not even trying to, gas you up or lie. You have not aged.
That's hilarious, man. I can't believe it, man. But, that was really cool was that I had family members text me and everything, too. So, I feel like it was a proud moment for them. More so than me because I care, but it was like, oh, that was pretty cool, especially to, younger siblings who didn't, or family members who didn't see me play actually, so that are now 14, so that was really unique in itself.
Good quality footage.
Man, I thought they forgot about me.
Yeah.
Well,
I wasn't too bad there. Yeah, but I have to say this, man, and the Combine has, the athletes now are off the chart.
Incredible.
Now, I want to say, I don't know if they had something wrong with the camera there for the speed there. They had to make some adjustments and pause it, I think, after Tate ran. And I think that's why they saying his time was really faster than what it was. And they fixed it. But these guys are doing some phenomenal. They're bigger, more athletic, faster. Man, some of these guys are just I was in amazement on some of these guys. You know, they start with the Ohio State guys, but some of these guys, 6'5", receiver from what was it, Cincinnati, Caldwell, running like a. I'm like, who is this guy?
And I'm like, never, not on my radar.
Not like that.
Yeah, not on my radar.
Yeah, that's like, wow, man. It was, even Nebraska ran a 4.3 something, right? Didn't he?
Yeah, 4.37 or something similar to that.
I was like thoroughly impressed. With the guys just athletically and how they perform. And, yeah, man. So anybody that stood out to you?
Oh, my gosh. I mean, so many people.
Should we start with who looked bad?
Well, I'll say this. Let's start with this. I'm beginning to think because as we go along year after year, athletes are more prevalent in today's, I guess, college world. I mean, we're talking about the defensive backs first all-time in average 40 time.
It was record times in all of them,
Wide receiver, running back, linebacker, tight end, defensive line, offensive line are number one all-time in average 40 time. Quarterback, surprisingly enough, I thought quarterback was going to be number one. They were second all-time in average 40
time. I know, Taylor Green. I couldn't believe he was second. I couldn't. Yeah. Who is the person that beat him?
Don't know. Was it Haynes King?
No, Haynes King ran a 4.4.
I didn't really pay attention.
I actually like Haynes King, by the way. I've watched him play numerous times. He's kind of a Drake May-ish, sneaky athlete, fast. I mean, he's all right. Somebody's gonna get a quality player there.
Yeah,
whether it's third round or second round.
How much does this athletic testing really matter now? Like, okay, for guys like Sonny Styles, Jeremiah Love, Arvell Reese, they went out and tested. They went off the chain, right? Yeah, and maybe that just cements your status in certain players. And for guys like you mentioned, the kid from Cincinnati.
Caldwell.
Mm-hmm. Malachi Lawrence, the University of Central Florida edge. North Dakota State wide receiver Bryce Lance, brother Trey, who I brought up a few times.
Right. He's fast. He ran fast time, right?
I mean, Mike Washington, right? Fastest running back of the 40, perfect 10.
He was the guy that was crying, right?
Yeah. Like, you look at these guys, and that means something to them. But for the most part, I really don't think Carnell Tate's 40 time, whatever it may be, I know he'll run faster at the pro day, really hurts him. Yeah, I don't know. In a way of, we knew that's probably likely what he was going to run. Would you like to have seen faster? Sure. Does not being faster, but that time precludes you from being a good wide receiver? Absolutely not. But maybe if you were a guy that was kind of entertaining the idea of Carnell Tate at 4, whether you're a mock drafter, a fan, an analyst, whatever, you're probably like, hey, maybe he's not top 4 material.
And then you know what I would do?
And you would go back to the film.
I go turn on the tape, and it's funny you say that. I was just going through his highlights, and I saw him run right by the cornerback who ran a real fast time at the combine, and he ran right by him on a go route. That was not. It was like mano a mano. We're gonna get up and go. We're gonna see who can win, right? Yeah. I mean, we going down that track like we racing, like those horses got galloping on down, and he ran right by that guy and caught a deep ball. And I'm going to see. So the ball, the film don't lie. I mean, the guy is fast enough. He's 4'4" type guy.
And for me,
and big body, 6'3". He's tall, lanky, and a good route runner, by the way, which is a big caveat for me in all of that. I think the average height for an NFL receiver coming out of the combine, typically the pro size is like 6 feet, 190 pounds. They want this prototypical. It's Jefferson, by the way. And that's how, they want them all to look with some leanness to them, but not skinny.
Right.
And then they run about a 4'4".
I look at, oh, crap. I had someone that I was thinking of that.
A riser, too.
I think when you kind of look at it, the drills, like the actual positional drills, may tell you a little bit more. I was kind of talking about this with Ross before the show, but it's like the 40 time is relevant, but not as relevant. But it's almost like a case-by-case basis. Like Denzel Boston, right? We've seen kind of similar to Carnell Tate. We've seen him kind of fly by guys on tape. Now, he's a little bit of a long strider. He didn't run the 40, but he did do the shuttle and was at his size, did a 4.28 shuttle, which is all about getting in and out of his brakes quickly and stop-start. And he did that at a fantastic time for his size and his weight. Like, you almost have to adjust for weight and height and all that kind of stuff. And I know a lot of teams that do that. And then I look at a guy like David Bailey,
Well, I mean, you put a lot of stock, seems like you did in the 40. JSN ran a 4.48.
Yeah.
I mean, so
I'm not really putting a lot of stock
I'm
in
talking
the
about
40.
before.
Oh, yeah.
I did not.
Yeah.
I always go about the film.
Now, teams apparently do, but
they do.
But,
They do.
I mean,
I'm just telling you how the guys who have played and haven't played, who've been around,
Right.
especially coaches, they're going to sit down. That's why they don't have a big opinion when it comes to when they give them the tape, because they're going to look at it from a total different perspective than the scouts.
Right.
It's just a different ball game, because they can say, "Oh, this guy's real fast." We go, "But he doesn't play fast." And you go, "What does that mean if you're a scout?" You say, "Hey, man, he ran a fast time." No, he doesn't play fast. Turn on the tape. He's about a 4 or 5 guy on film.
yeah.
See, all you got to do is count the number of steps in the 5-yard line is 2 steps. All the scouts should know this. And that's a 4 or 5 guy. Anything faster than that, 2 steps within a 5-yard range, then you faster than 4 or 5.
Right.
And let's see it on tape. Some guys run faster with equipment on. Some guys don't. Oh, watch this. Some guys run fast when they chasing that rabbit. That rabbit, when I got to go get him,
Yeah.
they can run faster. When I go, I see the ball in the hair, I go get it. Like
Marcus Harris did that a few times that you saw on tape.
Yeah, I saw it live at the Falcons preseason game.
All of a sudden, he's all
he was
all the way
coming
down
right
there.
towards me too. By the way, where I was sitting, so it was great. I was like, "Dang, he's beat." And I said, "Oh no, he's not."
Right.
You know, so those are the things that doesn't always correlate. That's why you have to go back and watch the film and see if the time matches up with the film. Because if it doesn't, then you say that guy just
Because that's really kind of what the combine is like confirmation bias, or we didn't get to see a lot of this on tape, right? So maybe there, and I go back to Denzel Boston. I'm not saying this is the case, but I'm using him as an example because his numbers are on top of my head. Yeah, his size, maybe you didn't see him go in and out of breaks a lot on tape. So how quick can you do that? Okay, Malachi Fields is a good example because that was a guy that coming out of the Senior Bowl was considered a fringe first rounder.
Hey, he looked pretty good.
He comes out and tests and he goes and throws a 4.61. And again, that's not the be all end all because you go back and look at the tape. But I did talk about how he always seems to have a guy around him. And the defensive back is always there, able to be at least in his hip pocket. So when you go to the NFL, how much does that translate? So it's almost like I understand teams and maybe the media want to make sweeping statements about these drills, but it's almost like a case-by-case basis. What do you need to see out of these players at the combine? Like, did you really need to see Bailey run to know that he was fast? David Bailey, the edge out tech, said to know that. We know he's fast, but then he gets out there and does the hoop drill. He slips a couple of different times on other drills, but he kind of shows a little bit of his stiffness. Now, it's not like he's the 10-man out there, not oiled up or anything, but you kind of see a little bit of the question marks pop up for, guys like, okay, we knew Brennan Thompson, fastest player at the combine. I'd said it all. I said that would be my bet for fastest player at the combine, wide receiver out of Mississippi State. Hey, he's 5'8" and, 100 and something pounds soaking wet. He's a small dude.
Yeah.
But how does that translate really to the NFL? That's really nice for him. Props to him for being the fastest player at the combine this year. But what does that really mean for him as an NFL player? And for I think for Arvell Reese, Sonny Styles, and Jeremiah Love and David Bailey, who are the 4 guys that are considered like top 5 players in this class that all worked out, that's all well and good. Does it really hurt Ruben Bain that he didn't work out? I don't think so. Does my opinion matter to what the NFL teams think? I don't know.
But does it hurt that he didn't have long arms?
I think it does. I
know, right? It seemed like that hurt him. He didn't even do anything wrong.
Yeah. That's just the way he's born. Like Cassius Howell, right? Cassius Howell came in. He's one of 2 players at that position, Cassius Howell, since 1999 to have shorter arms than Ruben Bain. Okay, so let's first, and there, Cassius Howell and Ruben Bain in the same draft class. Cassius Howell did not test as well as he probably needed to overcome the short arm stigma, which is a real thing, right? Like teams really look at those physical measurables.
The teams look at it. We talked about it before, but it's not the end all. You try to figure out if his game can translate as a player and he at least be especially a guy high profile this high in the draft. Will he become just a really good player or will he be an impactful player?
Right.
And will that keep him from becoming really impactful? So, that's up for them to judge. I have no idea.
It's I don't know if there's really technically winners and losers from the combine. And, maybe there are winners because if you look at a guy like we talked about, like Malachi Lawrence, Jeff Caldwell, Bryce Lance, guys that maybe people are going to go back and watch the tape on, even though NFL teams have already watched tape on these guys. In the media, they may be winners, and there's risers and fallers, but at the end of the day, I think it's all about how your board was set coming into the combine. If you're an NFL team, likely doesn't change a lot, but you do get little questions answered in terms of your rankings. It doesn't shift it around a lot. Like you're not going to go through and suddenly, Jeff Caldwell, he's 6'5" and ran a 4.37. Well, he's my number one wide receiver on the board after being my 30th wide receiver on the board. Now, he may get bumped up from 30th, for example, to 20th. But does the tape really say that? And that's what you got to worry about when you talk about all these guys is like priority watch for me. Malachi Lawrence, Jeff Caldwell, and I'm still trying to find more Bryce Lance tape. Like those are guys I want to watch more of. And Charles Deming, a cornerback out of Stephen F. Austin. He ran a good time. And he's big. He ran a good time.
He did.
I'm trying to get some tape for him.
He kept showing up. Yeah, Austin. Yeah,
but that to me is kind of like, I think the media plays into the risers and fallers a little bit more than teams play into the risers and fallers.
Oh, yeah. I would agree with that.
All right. When we come back, we'll go to the phone as long as I can see the buttons to hit them. Luke and Dan, this is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone.
No glasses. You might not know this, but there's an auto repair company that pays its mechanics more than any repair shops that I know of in the area. Hey, it's Blaine Bishop for Eurofix. And why would Eurofix do that? A decent technician can make up to 50 to 60 grand a year, and a good technician that's pretty fast can make up to 120 grand. Really, man, that's pretty good, man. And a really, really fast technician like Ross, who's really, really good, can come up with $180,000 a year as a mechanic. And can you believe that? And a lot of people look down on mechanics, and they shouldn't. Founder Aaron Stokes was a mechanic, and he knew mechanics are what make the world go round. And everything out here has to be worked on. So did you know Eurofix is not open on the weekends? And you say, why? Because Eurofix wants the kids of mom and dad's employees to have weekends together and not apart. If home life is unhappy, work life will be unhappy too. So that's why Eurofix is open Monday through Friday. And European vehicles fixed at below dealer pricing. You know, they get that 3-year, 36,000-mile nationwide warranty on all the repairs Eurofix performs. And 5 locations all through the state, as well as more to come. And all you have to do is just give them a call at 844-EUROFIX. That's right, 844-EUROFIX, or you can check them out online at myEurofix.com. That's myEurofix.com.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Door. 615-737-1045 is the number. Had LASIK surgery on Thursday, recovery on Friday. Yeah. So every 20 minutes, I have to put in artificial tears into my eyes to keep them lubricated. So there are going to be a couple of times during the show, like we got one coming up here in just a moment, where I'm going to have to put eye drops in. You guys are just going to have to watch me do it. So there you go. If you're on YouTube,
it's about as much pressure as those guys at the combine have on. They got to run, their get-offs in the 40. So your get-off and putting your eye drops in, you got to make sure you're steady and keep your eye open.
Nothing worse than getting the eye drops.
Everybody's watching.
Yeah. Nothing worse than getting the eye drops like right here because that's where you're supposed to hold it. The lower eyelid, you're supposed to open it up using that, not touch the upper eyelid because you can get the flap they did caught off. So like if you miss it and get an eye drop on the lower eyelid, it is so slippery to try to redo the drop. So it's the worst.
I'm just glad that nothing major happened while y'all were out.
Yeah, we'll get to Tavondre Sweat being traded.
On air, man. That wouldn't look good for the show.
Yeah, we'll get to Tavondre Sweat being traded.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get to Lloyd Cushenberry being cut. We'll get to a lot of the combine intel and rumors around certain free agents and draft picks and all that. But first, let's go to the phones, especially since I got put in my eye drops. Let's go to Luke in Goodlettsville. Luke, you're on with Blaine and Zach.
Hey, guys. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Question. It's kind of a combine/draft question. So y'all remember last year, for months the talk was, should we take Cam or should we trade back? I haven't heard as much talk about trading back. So my question is there a team, I know LA's got 2 picks, or is there another team that feels like they just need one, really good player that would be willing to trade up? What would we get? Would we get their first and then maybe their second or their third or next year's first? Because we would love to have 3 first-round picks to get a wide receiver, a corner, and an edge, but we don't. So I know free agency, things like that. So is there a possibility to do that and then try to use some of these second and third day guys to develop and hopefully become those elite starters? All right. I'll hang up and listen. Thank you.
Thanks. I think the problem is with the trade up. Now, obviously, you don't have to have a quarterback to trade up for player. There's been since like 2021, 12% of trade ups on the day of the draft in the first round trade ups have been for quarterbacks. The rest of them have been for other positions. I guess it's the fact there's a lack of premium position players that are considered blue chip talent at this point. But I do think that Ty Simpson pretty much cemented himself as the number 2 quarterback. Now, whether that's the number 2 quarterback first round, we'll see. But I think we're both feeling pretty confident in that.
Yeah, I said he was going to be a top 10 pick.
You did?
I'm going to go all the way there. I don't know why they're not there yet. Matter of fact, I really want to say...
Some people think the Browns at 6 are going to do it.
I just know what it looked like.
And the Rams, the Rams pick at 13.
He doesn't have those starts, though.
Yeah.
So that does matter. But if he goes to a team that has a veteran quarterback, and even though he doesn't start, he can still learn. And you got to understand what type of player this is. This guy's a coach's kid. This guy learns pretty fast.
Yeah.
Without those starts, he looks like a polished quarterback already. So imagine now if he gets some playing time and slowly you develop him, then next year, like playing behind a Stafford or somebody like that would be incredible. And I think it doesn't really matter.
And the Rams pick at 13, right? So they may want to trade up. I know that a lot of people are going to be pretty impressed with Drew Aller's combine and all that kind of stuff. I've heard a lot of people say that he's quarterback 3. I don't know if the tape really supports that he's quarterback 3, especially this year's tape to start.
Because he got injured, right?
He got injured, but and he looked pretty good in the drills. But on the film, when we're going back to watch the film and you're going back to watch 2025, how much do you take into account if you're an NFL team the start of the 2025 season when he did look pretty good in the 2024 season?
Yeah, he did.
And
who looked better between him and Beck?
I think Aller did. Just on those drills. I think obviously Beck had the better tape. At the time that they're both playing at the same time in 2025, I think Beck had the better tape.
That's going to be interesting because I almost forgot about some of these guys.
Yeah.
I mean, it's,
You're right.
I was like, whoa, dang. Oh, I forgot about him. I mean, yeah, I remember him throwing to 2 years ago, as you mentioned, throwing to the tight end. There, yeah.
Kyler Warren.
Yeah.
But the Rams pick 13, right? And the Browns pick 6. Those are 2 teams. Listen, Arizona may cut. I mean, Kyler Murray.
Oh, yeah.
And then they'll be in the quarterback market, right? Like, I mean, I'll be very interested to see what the quarterback market shakes out in free agency. And I think that's this draft for whatever reason. And I know that there's a reason why free agency is always before the draft. But this draft feels very, very tied to what teams at the top do in free agency. Now, obviously, the Raiders aren't going to go out and get a quarterback. They're pretty locked into Fernando Mendoza. I'd be very surprised or shocked if they were to trade out. Not to say that they wouldn't, but maybe they get a haul for whatever they're going to get. But I'd be very shocked. But what do the Jets, after trading Jermaine Johnson to the Titans, do in free agency? Do they go out and overpay or pay a lot of money? Not overpay, I guess, but pay over the market value for a lot of these edge rushers to make up for what they just lost? And if they do, does that mean they still need Arvell Reese, or can they go best player available? What do the Arizona Cardinals do? Do they really cut Kyler Murray? And if they do they go out and get Jimmy Garoppolo? Apparently, Ross was telling me that Mike LaFleur, there's a rumor coming out of the combine that or it was you or Joseph, that Mike LaFleur wanted Jimmy Garoppolo, which I have not heard that rumor yet, but I'm not saying it's not out there, but is that who they go with? Like, the domino of free agency specifically for this draft means a lot. I mean, the Tennessee Titans are a perfect example. They've already traded for Jermaine Johnson. Do they go and sign maybe still another near top of the market edge rusher like a Kwity Paye or an Odafe Owe? And if they do, does that mean they really need to go Reuben Bain, David Bailey, or even Arvell Reese, who most teams have as an edge rusher now coming out of the combine? I don't know. But, I mean, that's the kind of question. Like, can trade-ups be possible? Yeah. Do the Tennessee Titans likely want to trade back in this draft? I would assume almost every team wants to trade back in this draft, except for the Raiders. But at the same time, that phone don't always ring when you're on the clock.
Yeah, you got to have a trade partner. And it'd be really nice if they could, like, trade from 4th to, maybe 8, 9, or in the early teens.
Yeah.
Pick up another, first round or late first round, second round pick. Oh, man, that'd be a dream to me, because I think this draft is built kind of where you're getting a lot of quality players, but not blue chip players. Yeah. Which blue chip means like I'll come right in and they're going to be, Pro Bowl level type players. Yeah. But a whole bunch of really good starters and could turn into potentially maybe Pro Bowl. So, man, dang, that'd be really awesome. And then if you got a receiver and a pass rusher, or a receiver and, Love. Oh,
you know me.
So it just, oh man, all those guys out there, man. You still on the love train, man. The love train really got you. He got you hooked.
I will say this:
he got you hook, line, and sinker. You just fell in love.
I mean, to be 15 pounds heavier than Jahmyr Gibbs and run the same 40 time.
But he's a bit different built guy. He's 6'1".
I know, that's what I'm saying. That's impressive. It's impressive for him.
The height alone will put more weight on you. 3 more inches.
Oh, well, yeah. So, I get what you're saying. But, I mean, still, to run a 4.37,
no doubt for his side.
Then that's still faster than what Bijan Robinson ran his, and they were similar guys.
I have to admit, I started getting conflicted when I saw him run. I was like, ooh, hey.
And they had him doing wide receiver drills, and I don't know if you guys if everybody got to see him do the wide receiver pass catching drills or whatever.
He's got hands.
He's so fluid in everything he does. It's just, listen.
Did you come out of this draft that he's the best player in the draft, regardless of whether he goes number 1 or not?
I will say this: him or Sonny Styles are probably going to be the best player of this draft, and that sucks for the Titans, right? Like, because it's hard to sell. I don't know if Love would be as hard to sell to the populace, because the fan base. Because I mean, obviously, you can do this. You could say, first off, I mean, he's one of the best running backs you can get, and this is a running back team. We want to get back down to basics. We want to get the next, Bijan Robinson or something. Hey, We drafted Cam Ward 30 years ago last year. We're drafting like Steve McNair. They drafted 30 years ago. Now you're drafting Eddie George. So there's some stuff you can tie to the fan base. Sonny Styles, I think, would be a tougher sell. But I think there's such an underrated aspect to Sonny Styles' game when you talk about what he's able to do it all on defense. There is no real flaw to his game. He's a converted
safety.
Exactly. There's no real flaw to his game. He's got the leadership, and so does Jeremiah Love. Like, those guys are there was some stuff that came out about Caleb Downs and his medicals, apparently.
Oh, really?
I'm still waiting before I go really in on that because I want to see someone else verify it than where I heard it from. But I still consider Caleb Downs that guy.
Mm-hmm. And remember I said this is a season alive?
Yeah.
And see, he is the perfect person to tell a story to, and then it goes bonkers.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm not going with it.
Drops for me. First of all, I haven't seen Caleb Downs get injured not in one game, ever. I've watched a lot of his games, ever.
That's what I'm saying.
But he comes up on the injury report. Something's wrong with him. But he's not missed a game.
I haven't seen it get verified, so I'm not trusting it until I get it verified. So I still consider Caleb Downs.
And said that you will tear your ACL before the season's up of 1 year. That's what they said.
That's why I'm not going with it.
Oh my God.
It's coming from one
because you just moved my knee too much, and now it's hurting.
If it was coming from someone else, and I haven't heard it come from someone else, so I can't really go with that.
Well, you just said it on there. Now you're going to go back in the corner.
No, I'm just saying I heard it, but I still think that until I find someone else, I can't run with it because other people have already said it. But I'm not running off one guy's report.
Has Styles ever been injured?
I don't know. I know this. I mean, I know this is Jermaine Johnson, but I know, he suffered his first real injury
last year
in the NFL in 2024.
He tore his Achilles,
that's
right?
going back to college. Achilles.
Achilles. I mean, Achilles. Yeah.
So I don't think this until I see something about Caleb Downs. I'm not moving Caleb Downs off one of the three best players in this draft. Still blue chip talent. I've never seen an injury or anything like that, so I don't know where this is coming from. I mean, that could be someone to your point, leaking someone to this person that put it out in print.
Let's use common sense
and saying, hey, let's get that guy to fall to us.
You know what I'm saying? Common sense here. Titans could be doing the same thing with Love and try to use that for trade bait.
They could be.
And saying we're going to take him. But they can still take him.
Yeah. And listen, Easton says today that the love is real. But again,
I don't know.
Why couldn't they be using him to get their messaging out just as much as they use their
brand? They did say they like Love.
They did. They compared him a lot to Jameer Gibbs, and both Saleh and Bergonzi both said he's a 3-down running back game changer. Mm-hmm. And they remind him of, I know Saleh said Christian McCaffrey and Jameer Gibbs. Bergonzi said Jameer Gibbs, and then he goes and runs the same 40 time as Jameer Gibbs.
But bigger.
Very coincidental.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just crazy. But I do think that, again, if you look at what ever happens in free agency, is going to tell you what they can and can't really do. And because I'm a big proponent of best player available, and typically in these drafts, even when a running back like Bijan Robinson, right? In the Bijan Robinson draft.
Oh, yeah, he was pretty good.
Well, Will Anderson was there, and he was just a blue chip talent like Bijan Robinson was a blue chip talent. The problem is there's not a really blue chip talent pass rusher in this draft. You could make the argument for Arvell Reese.
I don't know, man. Bailey. And he ran a 4.51. He beat me. I was like, man, these dudes is floating.
I mean, he's fast and explosive, but he's also also a little stiff. And there's question, and that does show up on tape. Now, again, not overwhelmingly stiff.
I was stiff too.
But I don't know. I think that the NFL would say that there are at least 3 to 4 blue chip talents. And I think that you would kind of look at it and you would say that David Bailey, Reuben Bain are not considered that 3 to 4 from what teams have said. Now, that also couldn't be, again, like you pointed out, people just wanting those guys to fall.
So who are your 3 big blue chip guys?
I haven't watched this kid that's the guard from Penn State, But apparently, a lot of people are really high on him. I'll leave that to people who know more about offensive line play and all that kind of to me.
Well, but
for me, Downs, Styles, and Love, I think you could make a case for Alvarez. I don't know if I'm exactly there right now to do that, but I do think it's Love, Downs, and Styles. Whatever order you want to put them in, I think I'd put Downs at 3 because Jeremiah Love and Sonny Styles, maybe 2, and Styles and Love are 1A, 1B. But those are clearly the 3 best players in this draft, no doubt, bar none.
Well, right now, I'm going to say Styles, and actually watching him. I'm real close to saying we could just draft him and we could put him wherever we decide to put him.
Right,
I mean, after watching him, I was like, oh, man. Then I went and said, oh, man, I knew this was his dad played for the freaking Rams.
Yep.
And so I go, oh, man, I remember him. He was some ripped up son of a gun. I was like, man, this dude's built like Javon Curse, but, more mass to him.
Yeah.
He was ripped up like, looked like one of those, X-Men or something. I don't know, man. And his kids grew up in there fast. And then the DB guy, he didn't even, I don't think, started and ran a 4.3. Like, he was a rotational guy. Like, that's what they were saying. The other, Lorenzo Styles Jr.
His brother.
Mm-hmm. So, Sonny Styles, he could play inside linebacker. I mean, man, outside, and he could pass rush, man.
He's just as good as Arvell Reese rushing the passer. He wasn't asked to do it a lot.
Yeah, I think Sonny Styles is my 4th pick of the draft right now.
Listen, I'm not going to sit here and cry over Sonny Styles.
I was like, oh, man. I had to go back and watch the video, and he was number 0. And the guys that wear 0, no, they are him. And he played like him.
And he wasn't afraid to test. Yeah. And I'm not saying afraid may be the wrong word, but he knew what he was doing when he went out there. He knew that he was going to blow the roof off of that combine and steal the show, and he did. Him and Arvell Reese both did.
I love it. No, here's the mindset. They interviewed the mom in the stands, and she says, how do you think he's going to do on the 40? She says, oh, he's going to do real well because he's mad that he didn't jump higher on the vertical.
Did you see?
She said that. So the mindset they've already ingrained in him is if you don't reach where you think you should be, somewhere else is going to have to pay. And she was saying, hey, when he run that 40, watch what he do. And I'm like, woo, I love when Mama Bear get up there and predicts that something's going to happen, and it does. That means that's been ingrained in him from day one.
So he was the last linebacker to run the 40s. Okay, so as soon as he ran, he goes over there and interviews Stacey Dales, not even out of breath, and pissed that he didn't run it faster.
Oh, man.
I mean, that's what you're getting. And Jeremiah Love, he too was pissed he didn't run faster, and he ran remarkable.
Yeah. His dad was up there shaking his head in the stands like, oh, man, I don't know, man. I thought we was going to run like a 4th. You was going to run the 4.3, man.
I'm just going to say,
what's going on
I know we're going to have a lot of debates about positional value. But when and I'm not going to put the onus of Hall of Fame, all-pro players on these guys, but these guys are coming in and will immediately make an impact on your team in such a significant way. Position be damned, in my opinion. I don't care that you may have to pay a running back $12.25 million per year. If it's Jeremiah Love and he's touching the ball 300 times a year and getting you 1,700 to 1,800 scrimmage yards a year, there's value in that. I don't care if it's Sonny Styles, and if he's getting past defenses, he's getting sacks, he's making it look like he could be the next Luke Kuechly or something like that. Even if he's the next Fred Warner. That's really good for this defense because this defense has one, for sure, high, I guess, above average starter at linebacker right now, and that is Cedric Gray. Cody Barton is average. James Williams, we don't know what he is, and there's nobody that I can really think of off the top of my head behind them. You put in Sonny Styles next to Cedric Gray and whoever else you may want to put on to him, and then Sonny Styles never has to come off the field. He can run with tight ends. He can cover slot wide receivers. Him and Kevin Winston interchangeable parts.
I'm not going to go that far, but I got what you're saying.
But he can cover that middle area of the field.
The cover side of it.
You have to worry about nothing.
Yeah. That's why I said when I started thinking this, I was like, man, I think I could find a way to put him on it. Yeah, it's going to be a battle between him, Love and
Bailey,
I would
I
say
think.
Bailey.
Yeah.
I would say Bailey is the top 3 for the Titans
I
at
would
this point.
agree.
If they don't trade back, that's kind of where I'm at. You said Downs, didn't you?
Well, I think Downs, I don't think they're going to be really in on Downs because I do think they got Kevin Winston and Monty Hooker. Now, we'll see what happens. They let go Xavier Woods, who's the backup behind these two guys and all that kind of stuff. I think Caleb Downs would fit seamlessly in this defense and can do everything you need him to do. But I do think I look at what Sonny Styles and Jeremiah Love could do for this particular team, and then add on David Bailey in this particular team, I do think that those are the 3 main options from the Tennessee Titans perspective.
Yeah, and that's where I disagree with what was the former coordinator, DC, for the Titans?
Oh, Denard Wilson?
Yeah, he said we start from the back to the front.
Oh, yeah.
You always start with the trenches first.
Yeah.
Always. Because that makes their jobs, my job, easier. When Javon Curse came, the jobs got easier.
Yeah.
The cover, the time, it was easier. So that's when you say, no, it always starts in the trenches on both sides of the ball, or you don't have anything.
Well, the almost undefeated team with Kerry Collins and all of them had Albert Hainsworth and Kyle Vandenbosch and all those guys up there. They made life easy for everybody on that team.
Albert?
Yeah, I mean,
What do you mean almost undefeated?
well, they weren't undefeated. They were trailing undefeated for most of the year that year.
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember that.
Yeah.
They almost, what record they have? 13-3?
13-3.
Oh,
but I mean, they were undefeated
we
for a
were.
large chunk of the year. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
we were twice. So
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just going back to that
recent
specific
biases,
team because they had that tremendous pass rush down there. And I mean, Cortland Finnegan was there, Michael Griffin was there. They're all great players in their own right and everything. But I mean, that pass rush, to your point, those trenches made that job a whole lot
Yeah, and
easier
they
for
had
everybody.
a whole bunch of role players opposite
Yeah.
of those guys, too, with Vandenbosch and
Right.
Hainsworth, man. I forget their
Yeah.
guys' names, but, man, those guys were quality
I mean,
players. I
Was
like,
it Tony Brown?
Tony Brown, he was
Was it Tony
one.
or Troy?
No, it was Tony. Tony Brown. Tony Brown. Yeah.
Oh, man. Who was the really tall guy? He was huge. He was massive. I have to look it up. I can't remember his name. But yeah, to that point, I mean,
man.
they were all on the cover
Then
of
they had
Sports
some good-
Illustrated, right? Remember?
Yeah,
They were all looking
Yeah,
down and
yeah.
everything. All right, when we come back, we'll go to Charles and
Somebody
continue
remember,
talking
call
the
in.
combine as well. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone.
Well, naturally, it's March, and man, I can't believe time has flown by, and I still haven't gotten all those LBs off like I want to. Well, I need some help, and I go to Edge Peptide Hormone Therapy, and their approach to weight loss is a little bit different. You know, we make sure all the patients have extensive lab work and face-to-face conversations in office with the nurse practitioner to create a customized treatment plan tailored to your specific needs. They use only U.S.-based FDA-audited compounding pharmacies because knowing where your peptides come from always matters. As well as you get to enjoy access to their in-body scanner to track weight loss and make sure you're maintaining that muscle mass. And Edge always uses the lowest effective doses to make sure that you are resetting your metabolic flexibility, not starving yourself like most people do. Get to lower your A1C, keeping your cravings in check, and prioritizing protein and having someone guide your journey from start to finish. So call the team at Edge Peptide for all your wellness questions at 615, of course, 724-1878. That's 724-1878, or you can check them out online at edgepeptide.com.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by all Four Seasons Garage Doors. 615-737-1045 is the number. Listen, Sonny Styles.
Yep. I got Styles. You got love. You got love. I got Styles. I'm going with Styles.
Sonny Styles will just turn 22 in November.
Oh, my God.
So just think about the growth. You were just saying that, so think about the growth.
Oh, he only played linebacker 2 years. His whole entire life, he was a converted safety.
And Jeremiah Love at the end of May will be 21.
And then I looked at his arm length, too. They're 32. So they could even put him at defensive end if
they can
want
do whatever they want to. I mean, Sonny Styles, I think, could be everywhere.
I've got it. That's who I'm going with. That's just unbelievable.
I'm telling you. Like, you talk.
Yeah.
The only just next don't know how you pass
if
up.
If you see me walking on the stage, you know it's going to be Sonny Styles. I will change the card. I will make sure it's Sonny Styles.
I mean, that's the thing is, like, I just don't know how you can look at this team that does just need good players, right? Like, and they're great prospects.
No, these are elite. These are
elite. Great, elite.
Love, Styles, and who else you putting in?
Downs. I'll put Downs.
Okay. I don't know if I'm going to put them there, but
I think those guys are elite. I think David Bailey's great. Like, and I don't know. Like,
or it may be some line that we don't talk about.
Right. Like, I've been on the board that Sonny Styles was the best linebacker on his team. Damn. And that includes Arvell Reese, who I have no doubts that Arvell Reese will be a pretty good pro.
Maybe he's the other guy.
But, like, Sonny Styles is special. Jeremiah Love is special. Like, they're just special.
I didn't even think about this. Pull up real quick. Styles versus Myles Garrett's numbers at the combine.
Okay.
Oh, man. I will lose it if Myles Garrett was a generational athletic talent. Like, he was a freak of nature we hadn't seen in a long, long time. And, I think the freak did, he had good numbers, too. We could use him, but that was a little ways back. But I think the freak also did a backflip, too. At the,
so Myles Garrett, hold on.
You got both of them up?
Yeah. So Myles Garrett
You can't blame it over you can't see. Now, your eyes getting watery over there.
I just put in the eye drops. So I'm having a hard time seeing. So Myles Garrett was 6'4", 272. Mm-hmm. Sonny Styles, 6'5", 244.
Oh, he's lighter.
Myles Garrett ran a 4.64.
Oh.
4.48 for Sonny Styles.
Yeah, but he's 30 pounds lighter.
He is 30 pounds lighter. Vertical 43.5 for Sonny Styles, 41 for Myles Garrett.
Ooh, I beat Myles.
11 feet 2 inches in the broad jump for Sonny Styles.
Oh.
And 10 feet 8 inches in the broad jump for Myles Garrett.
Oh, so he's I would say he got him. A little.
I'm just saying this. We're not sitting here saying he's Myles Garrett. We're not sitting here saying he's Javon Curse or anything like that.
Yeah.
Sonny Styles in this draft class. Sonny Styles, Jeremiah Love, two best players in this draft is where our show is going to stand.
Yep, I agree. Concur. There's no way around that. I mean, Ross, you got anything to say something about that? I know you be having your, outside the box thoughts.
It's like down Styles 2A, 2B to me, just as players. Yeah. But as a combine performer and a prospect, obviously, Sonny Styles is gone. He might be number one now.
I mean, I'm just saying the film backs up all this, right?
I went and watched. I said, wait a minute. And I kept seeing, I was like, he up here reading, diagnosing. Oh, man. And I was like, and he's that, I said, well, shoot, he could be, I started dreaming in my head like all these different things. He could be Fred Warner one down. He could be Javon Curse on another.
Exactly. You're all over
I start saying this, and I'm watching him, and I'm going, I think I would take him. Best player over, I don't know.
And
that's
like
what I would do.
Watch what he's asked to do.
Do we put him at outside, off-ball linebacker like you've been talking about? Keep Cedric Gray in the middle in there. I don't know about you, Bird, but you may be over to it and they take you out.
Retirement home.
No, but I mean, he just be kind of the rotational security blanket. They didn't pay him a whole bunch of money where they can survive, with him on the roster.
And what he's asked to do in that particular defense by Matt Patricia and how he helps get everybody in line and how he has to adjust and do this and that and the multitude of things he does across the board, right? I mean, we talk about how he can rush to passer. I've mentioned, and you have too, but his coverage ability, which has been sorely lacking from the Tennessee Titans at the linebacker spot for forever. Not saying Cedric Gray can't get better, but he wasn't great at it. This is a guy that comes in day one, is top of the odds for Defensive Player of the Year. Top of the odds for defensive rookie, or sorry, not defensive player of the year, defensive rookie of the year. Top of the odds to probably be your second best defender on the team right away. Oh. I mean, like, because Jeremiah Love would be your best player on offense more than likely.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, outside of Jeffrey Simmons, this would be your best defender on the team. Those are the types of players you shouldn't pass up.
Yeah. And usually, there's been a phrase that you don't pass up franchise quarterbacks. And other positions when you need them, at least in the first round. Let me clarify that. And then, other positions you can maybe suffice later in the later rounds. And that's where this running back and durability and all these things started happening as time went on. And, you only have a great running back for maybe if you only keep him for that first contract, really only 5 years, right? You're getting for 5 years. So you got 5 years on already. It's just like having an older player. Oh, he's 27 when I draft him. Well, when he gets to 32, he won't be on your team anyway. So you could ship him off. But for right now, he's available and he's really good. It's just, we're going to get to see Bergonzi's
philosophy.
His philosophy and style of what he is doing, going about building a roster.
Because his free agency is going to tell us a lot about
the running back.
Yeah. Well, if he cuts Tony Pollard,
if he cuts
that would be a pretty big neon sign. But if he cuts Tony Pollard and signs Kenneth Walker, there you have your one answer, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, free agency will kind of tell you where he's leaning. Because last year, we all kind of saw that, okay, he's obviously leaning Cam Ward by the free agency. That was a big talking point. It was like, free agency has told us he's going Cam Ward.
During the break, we're going to check the last 10 Super Bowl winners.
Okay.
Does any of them have running backs to win the first round?
Okay, we can do that when we come back. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone.
Good afternoon from the Circus Sports of the Mid-Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Ross Johnston. We've had a couple trades in the NFL today, both involving the Houston Texans. First, the Texans sent starting right tackle Titus Howard to the Cleveland Browns in exchange for a fifth-round pick. Also, the Detroit Lions traded running back David Montgomery to the Texans for offensive lineman Juice Scruggs, a fourth-round pick, and a seventh-round pick. The Washington Commanders also announced that they will be releasing cornerback Marshawn Lattimore, which will save them $18.5 million in cap space this offseason. Tennessee let another double-digit lead slip away as they fell on Saturday, 71-69 to Alabama. Jacoby Gillespie led the way with 26 points in that one. And Vanderbilt took a tough loss on the road as well at Kentucky, 91-77 to move to 22-7 on the year. For all your foundation repair and your waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news and lunch on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by all Four Seasons Garage Doors. 615-737-1045 is the number. Okay, you asked before the break, out of the last 10 Super Bowls, how many had a first-round running back?
Which is fair. A lot of people are saying, well, they wouldn't have had a running back. They could take another position. I mean, it was only Barkley. He wasn't. That's not the team that drafted him.
Right. So there was 5 instances of 5 different teams that won the Super Bowl that had a first-round running back. Only 2 of those 5 had an instance where they drafted that running back.
Right.
So your first-round running backs that won, or that were one and first-round running backs were Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He won 2. Saquon Barkley with the Chiefs, Saquon Barkley with the Eagles, Leonard Fournette with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers,
but
Sony Michel
drafted him.
Right, Sony Michel with the Rams. Only Clyde Edwards-Helaire was the only guy that was actually drafted by his team. Now, let's take this one step further.
Okay.
Since 2005, there are only 4 players drafted since 2005 in the top 5 that have made it to the Super Bowl with the team that drafted them.
Which is always a bad team.
Which is typically a bad team, so that's why it's not just a running back stat,
right, we're talking about all positions.
This is all positions. One of those is actually a running back. Reggie Bush made it with the Saints and won with the Saints and he was drafted by the Saints. Eli Manning, drafted by the Giants.
Okay.
Von Miller, drafted by the Broncos. And Eric Fisher, drafted by the Chiefs. Now, this is the top 5 picks only. Not the entire first round, obviously, because you have Patrick Mahomes, but the top 5 picks. So there's the only 4 players to win a Super Bowl with the team that drafted them.
Okay.
So just, it's not just a running back stat. It is a top 5, you're kind of a crappy team kind of stat. Yeah. And so a lot of times, bad teams stay bad.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Good stuff.
There you go. Let's go to Dwayne in Old Hickory. Dwayne, you're on with Blaine and Zach.
Hey, guys. Love the show.
What's going on?
I was just looking at the Jimmy Johnson trade chart, and I have fell in love with Jeremiah Love also. But, man, if Kansas City decides to move up from 9 to 4, we only get their second-round pick, and we still owe them like 50 points from that, which would mean we'd have to give them a 5th-round pick to equal that out.
Oh, that's what we need.
So we get so we would be drafted 9, 35, and 40. Does that seem worth it to y'all?
Ooh.
Well, I will say this to your point, Dwayne. Your numbers are correct. I just looked at them. I actually had the Jimmy Johnson chart up.
Sorry about that, because the other caller did ask us what the value. I forgot.
You are correct. Kansas City would still be owed 50 in the trade. But here's what I would say in response to that: if you're trading up, you have to pay a little bit of a premium. So if they were to trade their first and their second, their 9th, and their 40th, that would come out as a wash or a plus for Tennessee because you are moving up 5 spots in the draft. You always have to have like a premium. It's never 1 for 1. Mm-hmm. You always have to pay a little bit of a premium to move up. So would it be worth it to get the 9th overall pick, move back from 4th to get the 9th overall pick, and to pick up their 40th? I would say probably so. Now, it's a huge risk because Reuben Bain could be off the board. Sonny Styles, Arvell Reese, David Bailey, Jeremiah Love would likely all be off the board. Maybe you go corner, but you would definitely be focusing.
Then you go Caleb Downs.
Maybe you go Caleb Downs.
Right.
That's right, yeah. Caleb Downs.
At 9, I mean, we just all dreaming.
Right. But, like, that is the kind of situation you're in. That would be a huge risk. But you would pick up an extra top 50 pick. And I don't think that you would have to give up anything in return in that situation.
So you don't have to. He was saying you have to give up a 5th.
You wouldn't have to. He's trying to make it even.
Right,
You're never going to be able to make it even. And the team that is being traded,
Got to be willing to trade
up,
with it.
The team that's having to pay to trade up always has to pay a little bit of a premium to get up there. So I wouldn't have to worry about that too much in my mind.
Good stuff.
All right, let's go to Jay. Jay, you're on with Blaine and Zach.
Hey, guys. Hey, thanks for taking my call. Not much football talk, although I am going to the Pinnacle to see the uniform reveal on the 12th, I think.
Yeah,
but, Zach,
12th.
I was going to ask you about your LASIK. Did you have it? And I had mine done in 99, and my post experience after having my LASIK was sitting, and this is Aerosmith Eye Institute. They're not here anymore, but that was the place to go back then. I sat in my front porch with a 6-pack and watched cars go by and read their license plates because I was so amazed at what I could see. So I was curious what you did once you left the office.
Great question, Jay. I did it with Dr. Horn at Vision for Life, who you'll hear more about them coming up during the break. Mm-hmm. The next morning, when we got home, I just stayed up in bed in a dark room. I tried to watch the combine, but I couldn't really watch it. But the next day, as we're driving down for my next morning appointment, the stuff that I could see that I would never have been able to see in the clarity without my glasses on was mesmerizing.
So were you near side or far side?
So I could see stuff up close.
Okay.
So what they did, this particular LASIK is called Contura, and it's also blended. So you could do the normal where you fix both eyes 100%, but
That's what I did.
Yeah. So like there used to be only one kind of LASIK. Uh-huh. Now there's a few different ones, and the ones that Dr. Horn recommended for me was that do the blended. That way you don't lose your nearsightedness as you get older. They can't guarantee it, but you very likely won't have to get readers until you're like 80.
Yeah, but see, that's where I'm at now, so that's how long ago at 99. Yeah. I'm just like the caller at 99, I got it.
Yeah.
Because I got tired of dealing with contacts. So I wore those blind man glasses for like 3 days.
Yeah.
I could see it. My eyes kept watering constantly. And I couldn't, I had to sit in a dark room. I had migraine.
My mom was the same. My mom and dad were the same way when they had their LASIK back in the early 2000s, that you had to sit in a dark room. Now the turnaround for that is not like that. I'm sensitive to daylight, and your eyes can obviously get sunburnt. So you have to wear sunglasses when you go outside. Even if it's foggy, they recommend doing that. Yep. But other than that, I mean, I've been able to, it's still, your brain adjusts in this blended thing. So it takes time for your brain to adjust to the different levels of seeing far. Like one eye is for nearsightedness, one eye is for farsightedness. Oh. It's really cool. I'm probably doing it a huge disservice.
One eye was for farsightedness.
Well, that's what the surgery does.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I didn't know that you could do. I mean, man, I may go back and get it freshened up real quick.
But highly recommend it. Listen, I wasn't even sitting there for. It felt like maybe just 5 minutes. Like the surgery itself only took like 5 minutes.
You're selling me.
I mean, it wasn't really that long.
Yeah, no, it's not that long. But I felt like they were burning my eye or something. What was going on, man? Hey, man, what?
It was weird. My wife put a picture. She actually did watch, and she did actually take pictures of them putting like the needle in my eye and all that kind of stuff. So, all right, when we come back, we do need to talk about the Devondre Sweat trade. We do need to talk about Lloyd Cushenberry not being on this team and what this means for the Tennessee Titans. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons, brought to you by All Four Seasons Garage Store here on 104.5 The Zone. Hey, it's Zach Lyons. If you wear glasses, you already know the struggle. Constantly looking for them. You're waking up blind without them. You're knocking them off the nightstand. Don't even get me started on vacations. Swimming, forget it. Fogging up, smudges, scratches. The whole day revolves around these things so that you can see. And the truth is, I've personally been dealing with blurry vision for years. Glasses helped, but they're also a hassle. And lately, I had been seriously thinking that there has to be a better way. And that's when I started to hear from colleagues here at Cumulus who had vision correction done by Dr. Horn at Vision for Life. And every single one of them said the same thing. They wish they'd done it sooner. And count me among those. I wish I'd done it sooner. So did my homework, read the reviews, and decided it was time. I did it. I got my vision corrected by Dr. Horn, and I've never been happier with my choice. Now I don't have to worry about new prescriptions, money on sunglasses, and money spent on regular glasses. If you're tired of dealing with glasses, contacts, or blurry vision, don't keep putting it off. Call Vision for Life at 615-436-2020 or visit visionforlife.com to schedule your consultation. I'll keep you posted, and trust me, I'm excited to finally see clearly. Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by all Four Seasons Garage Doors. 615-737-1045 is the number. The official show of Sonny Styles or Jeremiah Love at pick number 4. Let's go, because we've been talking Combine. We got Carol on the line who wants to talk a little bit about the Combine as well. So let's go to Carol. Carol, you're on with Blaine and Zach.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Good. How are you?
How you doing?
Doing well. I wanted to specifically talk about Eli Stowers and his numbers.
Oh,
He
yeah.
had an 11.3 broad and a 45-inch vertical on his numbers, but I didn't see what his 40 was.
His 40 was a 4.51.
That's a little slow.
Well,
Slower than I thought he would be. Let me say that.
I can see that. That looks to be just off the cuff the second fastest tight end time
That was-
outside of Kenyon Sadiq.
Yeah,
Kenyon
the Oregon
Sadiq
kid.
had a 4.39, and he has like 0% body fat.
So he was second best.
But I do think Carol's right onto something. We talk about whether money's made or not or stuff like that. Eli Stowers, to me, really stands out from the pack in regards of you want a playmaker at tight end. You may have to teach him to block, but the way that he's able to run, the way that he's able to find space on film, the way he's able to catch, that's tight end too all day long. I know there was to me, I always thought Eli Stowers was going to be tight end too. This just cemented it for me. Like she said, 9.46 out of 10 on the relative athletic score, 4.51. He had a 45.5 vertical and 135 inches on the broad. Incredible performance for Eli Stowers.
Yeah, just his journey, too. You know, he got beat out by Diego at New Mexico. What was it, Mexico State?
Yeah.
Yeah, at quarterback, and then they moved him to tight end, and then he ended up doing well, and then transferred here to Vanderbilt. So all at the same time, and now he goes and does all this super-duper testing and everything else.
And that shows up on the film.
Yeah, so he's a productive player. I thought he was. I didn't think he was a 4-4 guy. I never thought that.
Yeah.
I think he's a starting, pass catching, tight end in the National Football League. So yes, he'll be the second guy, second tight end taken off the board whenever that happens. Just depends how it all, falls on, on the draft day. Yeah, he's a real good player.
Yep.
Yeah, I like him.
Do you have something, Ross?
I was just going to say all that about Stowers is cool, but Carol basically said she could hawk him down.
Yeah.
In the open field.
She can take him down on the
I
open
said,
field.
I'm like, man, what was his height and weight?
Oh, man. Hold on.
He's like
It just
6'5".
closed out on
4.5
me.
ain't that bad now, is it?
4'5",
Okay, so he is 6'3", almost 6'4",
6'3". Okay.
239 pounds.
So he's
That's
2'4".
impressive. The only person that was more impressive at the tight end position was Kenyon Sadiq,
Right.
who is just pure muscle.
Oh.
All the way through.
But you see me looks like what? Remember,
Yeah.
he looked like he had on shorts playing against IU
Right.
or something. I was like, that's illegal. Looked like he had on the tights that you cut off his thigh. I could see half of his thigh.
Right. And if you want to know what the slowest time was for the 40-yard dash for tight ends, was a 4.9 ran by Miles Kitselman of University of Tennessee.
You just trying to throw a patch. You were wrong.
I'm just saying it just happened to be.
I did not know
he was
that
the
either,
least
by the way.
athletic tight end at the draft, at the combine that
that's
tested.
speed. That's speed. I don't mean he's not getting that. What was his other scores?
He ran a 34.5 vertical,
He
which
jumped.
wasn't the lowest, but it wasn't the
39
best.
is pretty.
34 and a half.
Oh, 34.
Yeah,
I thought you said
34 and a
39.
half. And 116
34.
inches broad jump, which was on the lowest of the tight ends.
Oh.
Well, it's not, but that's not his game. That has not been his game.
Where do you think he's going to go in the draft?
5th round, 6th round.
Uh-oh.
I don't know. This tight end draft is a little weird, so it may even be lower than that. I don't know. Maybe
Oh,
6
man,
or
you start
7.
talking about 5th, 6th, man. That's what they was telling me, and that could be borderline not getting drafted. I'm just telling you that thing.
Yeah.
It's all about which team really likes you as a football player at that
Right.
point.
Well, speaking of teams and whether they like football players or not, I think we got the answer. After Jarvis Brownlee Jr. was traded, we both said on the show, we wouldn't be surprised if Tavondre Sweat got traded. Now, let me be very careful about what I'm about to say.
Uh-oh.
We got the reasoning why Tavondre Sweat's traded. They told Albert Breer why he got traded. Now, whether we believe it or not, it's kind of like the same reason.
What was the reason?
Well, I'm about to. I mean, we as a show. I'm about to read it. This is a collective we.
Oh, okay.
I want to say this because when he got traded, and it's a player-for-player trade for Jermaine Johnson, pass rusher from the New York Jets that Robert Saleh drafted. That was an ascending talent under Robert Saleh until he had his Achilles torn very early in the 2024 season. Actually, here at the Tennessee against the Tennessee Titans that game.
Oh, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Robert Saleh also tried to trade for Jermaine Johnson last year, or the 49ers at the behest of Robert Saleh tried to trade for him, but the 49ers were like, well, we're not giving up, what the Jets want. A lot of people came to me and said, I told you he didn't fit the system. Well, the Tennessee Titans are telling you via the mouthpiece of Albert Breer of why Sweat got traded. Now, whether you choose to agree with them or not, much like the Jarvis Brownlee Jr. stuff, this one's probably a little bit more believable based on Tavondre Sweat, but I would have been willing to give him a chance to see if he could put it all together. But here's what they told Albert Breer. Now, it's not explicitly saying that Albert Breer was told this by our front office, but we know that right after Mike Bergonzi got hired, Albert Breer was the first guy that found out that Dave Ziegler was going to be the assistant GM. So just put two and two together here. Finally, we had an interesting player-for-player trade with the Titans sending Tavondre Sweat to the Jets for Jermaine Johnson. Johnson was drafted by new Tennessee coach Robert Saleh and is in a contract year, so his availability and destination makes sense. Sweat may be the more interesting piece here, though. He has 2 years left on his rookie deal, is enormously talented, and had a pretty rough reputation in the Titans organization. We'll see if being traded lights a fire underneath him that Tennessee couldn't ignite the last 2 years. It would be very easy for Titans decision makers or whoever floated this out to Albert Breer to go with the PR friendly, hey, he just wasn't a fit in our system and we were trading a defensive tackle for an edge rusher, and we need an edge rusher more than we need a defensive tackle. Very easy sells. They went a different route. Now, whether you agree that they should have gone this route or not, but they're telling you why they traded them, and whether you agree with that or not, it's up to you, but they're putting it out there, much like Jarvis Brownlee Jr., doesn't really have to do with the talent. It has to do with the player himself. So I'm just going to say that because obviously Tavondre Sweat, we have talked about it. You as a former defensive player, Coach Mack as a former defensive coach, we heard it from Robert Saleh. We've seen the tape. We know he fits the system. He just didn't fit in other ways. What were your thoughts when you saw the Tavondre Sweat trade?
I did not know that Albert Breer till you just said that. I'm not a big proponent for, slandering players.
I'm with you.
Whether true or not. I just that's not
I
how
agree.
I operate. But I thought it was still more system. I thought it was going to be tough, but I thought he could do it if he put his mind to it, to get down on his weight, and then everything else will take care of itself because he's just that talented player for a big man. So I thought it was more scheme. He fits better scheme, and then they got a pass rusher now, a veteran guy. It's going to be interesting to see what Jones looks like to me because he's in the final year of his contract, so they have to give him an extension. And if he doesn't look like they think he should look coming off an Achilles tear, which last season was just an average season for his standards, then now that was a race to trade. You could say what you want to say about it, but if he doesn't get 8 or more sacks, I think that wasn't a good trade.
I'd agree.
So, and I think he's a good player. But he came, so this should be he's back to normal after Achilles tear, and he played last season, had an average season, so we'll see what he looks like.
Very
now.
rare injury for him. I mean,
That's what Achilles are.
Yeah, he played through. There were rumors that at Georgia he kind of had to play through an ankle injury, but it never prevented him from playing in any games. And he was kind of lost in the rotation. Jermaine Johnson lost in the rotation at Georgia, stacked defenses. So he transferred to Florida State where he played all the games. He ended up. Jermaine Johnson, I don't think people really remember how good he was at Florida State. 18 tackles for losses and 12 sacks. Those are really great numbers for an edge rusher in college, their final season before getting drafted by the Jets. Now, did he ever? That's my alarm. You're looking around. That's my alarm vibrating. Oh, it's time for eye drops.
Oh,
but I look at Jermaine Johnson and I'm like, I totally understand trading a player with question marks, whether you have question marks about whatever, for a player of a premium position. That to me is a win-win for the Titans.
Yeah,
but he has to produce. To your point, because Tavondre Sweat, we saw it. Mm-hmm. People don't want to admit it. We talk about it on this show.
Yeah.
The majority of people don't want to admit it. Tavondre Sweat was an ascending player. Mm-hmm. Now, Jermaine Johnson was an ascending player at his position before the injury, but you knew what you were getting with Tavondre Sweat, even if he was out of shape or didn't have a lit fire or whatever words people want to use. He was good. He went out there and he played, gave it his all, played 100% of the time that he was available and healthy. That dude was good.
How many players are left on the team that ran Carthon?
Oh, gosh. Well, Cedric Gray, J.C. Latham.
And that's it.
James Williams, Jalen Harrell.
Well, they don't,
Yeah. I mean, they're on the team. They're rotational pieces, and they were drafted as rotational guys for the most part.
So J.C. Latham and
Peter Skoronski, Tajay Spears.
Oh, he was. Oh, yeah. Well,
but that's it out of that draft class. Oh, and Will Levis, who is likely to get traded. But I mean, this is kind of what happens when new regimes come in, and they kind of start swapping out pieces. And obviously, Robert Saleh the new head coach thinks very highly of Jermaine Johnson. He was, I guess you would say.
See how you went to his college stats real quick, though? I wanted to say this. You went to his college stats. I don't give a crap about his college stats now. He's 4 years into the league. What are his stats for the NFL?
Well, yeah. What I was saying is those are typically good stats matched with an RAS for that position. He should be good this year.
Right.
But he like I said, he was an ascending player in the NFL. And you already said, and I agree with you, what you said, he was kind of average coming off an Achilles tear.
Right, he was.
So to your point, if he doesn't get 8 sacks, this was a wasted trade.
Right, yep. Mm-hmm.
And I'm with you.
And they have to give him a long-term deal, even if he gets 8 sacks.
Yes.
So where's that going to put him?
Are you going to go ahead and get the deal done without seeing production?
Right.
And that's the other issue. If you do that without seeing production, I know what Robert Saleh thinks in his head, right?
Uh-huh.
He's like, I know I can get him to where he needs to go because I was doing the work and it was working before he got injured and I got fired.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, you are what you are, right? Like Jeffrey Simmons wasn't a double-digit sack guy until he became one this year.
Now, do you think
Jermaine Johnson?
Okay, well, do you think that was coaching, or do you think that was
him? Right. There ain't no doubt about that.
I'm gonna lose 30 pounds. I'm gonna move outside, and I'm about to get these 10 sacks. He said it before the season.
Yeah, right. And Jermaine Johnson, even with the coaching of Robert Saleh, has not been a double-digit sack guy.
He's never got double digits.
He's been good, but he's never been a double-digit sack guy. So you're trading away a one-of-a-kind player in Tavondre Sweat. There's not many players that ever come in his size, his speed, right? You're trading away that guy with 2 years of control for the head coach's guy. Now, this is the head coach's guy, right? Like, now, Tavondre Sweat was nobody's guy. He wasn't Bergonzi's guy. Mm-hmm. I mean, he was Brinker's guy, but he wasn't Bergonzi's guy. He wasn't Robert Saleh's guy. And if this fails, this falls on Mike Bergonzi and Robert Saleh. Not really Jermaine Johnson, who's already trying to scout where the, what did he say today? Country clubs. He wants to join a country club when he gets here.
Oh.
So that he tweeted that out today. But this, I understand trading a defensive tackle for an edge, but to your point, he has to produce. Yeah. He can't come in and be Jihad Ward.
Yeah.
He has to produce a ton of pressure, and he has to produce sacks. And the most sacks that Jermaine Johnson has gotten in his career, as it's, of course, verified. Pro Football Reference is
it was 8.
I thought it was 7.5.
7.5. I think you're right. I just wanted to round up because I was like, oh, this is
well, 8 should be the number, right? You should really always aim to be better. 7.5.
So in his 4 years, right?
He went 2.5 sacks his rookie year, 7.5 sacks in 2023. And then he got injured in 2024. He only was started for 2 games, did not get a sack. And then all last year, 3 sacks. And his tackles for losses went 3, 11, 1, 5 tackles for losses all last year. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt.
When did he get 7.5? What year?
The second year.
Second year.
So, and that was his best year statistically. So I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Okay, you had a little bit of a scheme change. You had an Achilles tear. Whatever. Those excuses aren't going to fly. You're a year removed from the Achilles tear. You're back in your home system. You should pick up right where you left off in really 2023. And I know that may be a tough ask, but I think that you're spot on. If he doesn't get 8 sacks, that was a wasted trade.
Yeah, And I think he's capable. Yeah. I mean,
I'm not saying that this is already a busted trade.
Oh, I'm not saying
yeah,
that
I know
sure.
you're not either.
Yeah.
But he has to produce for this to be a good trade.
Because they have to give him a long-term deal to make this worth it. Unless they're going to give him a cheap long-term deal.
Right.
Now.
Right.
Give him something that's 12 to 15 million per year, over long term.
Yeah. I mean, I liked Jermaine Johnson coming out of college. I thought Jermaine Johnson in 2023, he got to the Pro Bowl for whatever that's worth in today's NFL at this point.
Well, he was the 8th alternate.
Yeah.
No, just kidding.
He
was something like that, though. He was down. He was like 3rd or 4th.
But this is a big, I guess, line in the sand for Robert Saleh and Mike Bergonzi because they came together to get this trade happen.
Yeah, absolutely they did.
And so them coming together and being in lockstep on this also can affect your draft plans, right? If you get Jermaine Johnson in the trade, now this still is actually pending a physical, by the way. Right. But let's say the trade goes through, and then you sign Kwity Paye. I'm just throwing a name out there, Kwity Paye or Dafe Owe. Well, you probably don't need edge.
Right.
Then now factor that in. Jermaine Johnson, you traded away Tavondre Sweat. Jermaine Johnson doesn't get 8 sacks, and then you passed up on David Bailey or Reuben Bain or Arvell Reese because of this trade.
And why did you do that? Because you're going to take Love.
You're right. Which is fine. Maybe Love works out. But if your pass rush still stinks,
I guess, in pass rushing.
Just saying.
Dang. Looks like they're stacking up to take Love.
It's or Sonny Styles.
Well, they could sign a Pay. They could get Pay in what the other
Pay,
guy.
Dafe Owe. There's Kingsley and Nagbear.
Those are solid players. They're just like Jermaine Johnson to a certain extent as far as their production.
Like Jermaine Johnson's ceiling is, this is going to sound bad, but like alternate Pro Bowler right now. That's what he's shown us. He hasn't shown us first ballot Pro Bowl. He hasn't shown us all pro. He hasn't shown us double-digit sacks guy. So if you're projecting double-digit sacks guy, you're probably likely not going to get that. Go ahead.
Time out. All right, I know their styles are different, but we all know here at Tennessee. So let's compare him. Can he be as good as Harold Landry?
I think he could.
Right, I do too, and that's why I say 8 sacks.
Yeah.
Because that's what he was given, and if you get that, I think that will be good enough.
I think you were 100% spot on. I don't think anybody could put 8 sacks is where you need to aim because that's better than his 7.5, and that's half a sack better than his 7.5. So I'm there for 8 sacks.
That's why I think it's both scheme related. Yeah. That's why I said that. I don't know that they said all that other stuff about Sweat. I think Sweat's a good guy. I think he's a guy you got to kind of coddle, though, a little bit and push. Now, that's okay. There's a lot of players like that. Just knowing that he's not a bad guy. So I just don't like that part of it because then that's going to become something that's staple whenever you get traded or cut by the Titans. Then there's going to be a negative connotation behind it by your decisions. Well, to me, that's.
I'll be honest. When I first read, we'll see if being traded lights a fire underneath him that Tennessee couldn't ignite the last 2 years. That's just as big of an indictment on Brian Callahan and that staff as it is Tavondre Sweat.
Well, ultimately, it's still the player. I mean, he's the guy. I mean, you getting paid this kind of money, you're playing something that you dreamed of playing. Man, where's the fire? I get it. Like, and some guys are just a little bit different, especially, when he got hurt last year with his ankle. Some guys, I try to say this, and I don't know if he's one of these guys, they can't play injured. And it's really crazy because there's some I know some phenomenal athletes that just can't do it. They're like, I got to be 100%. Well, dude, you are never going to be 100%, man. Well, I got to at least have my wheels. I can maybe have something wrong with my arm or something, but I got to have my wheels because that's why I'm running. So I get it. So, some guys, you're in the trenches. He says, that's my power source. I'm a big guy. If I got a sprained ankle, that's tough for me to play with. And he's probably one of those guys. I think potentially he's going to be a really, really good player and probably is going to get paid a ton of money. And whether he does it this year or next year and gets ignited or not, I think he's a guy that's, eventually
It was
going to
already,
get there.
I mean, if you're big into PFF grades, I'm not, but this is an easy way to explain it. He was a top 10 defensive tackle last year, according to PFF grades. Let's not overthink it. Yeah. And I feel like sometimes these GMs overthink it because, well, he's not my guy.
Yeah. Well, that's why I want to say it's scheme. Because even Salah said, because he can say that I really didn't lie. He said, hey, man, we want guys number, and it's going to be hard for him.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It won't be easy.
Yeah, he was. So we never got to see if he was even going to be able to do it.
Right. I think it could be a mistake. It could be a mistake. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk about Lloyd Cushenberry. He was released.
Cush.
What are we doing? This is Cut for Two with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone.
Bye.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by all Four Seasons Garage Doors. 615-737-1045 is the number. Well, Lloyd Cushenberry was released shortly after. Was it before or after the Sweat trade? I think it was after.
Yeah, I did not like the way he been playing since we signed him.
No real love loss. I
wasn't happy with that signing.
But this center class, it's slim pickings, man.
They didn't change anything about what the Titans was doing.
Yeah, I'll say that. It is slim pickings out here.
So who's the center?
Tyler Linderbaum is the best one. And they're saying today he's angling for $25 million a year.
Oh, my gosh.
Now, the low end has been $22.5 million a year. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the Ravens have offered him in the high teens.
His former team.
His team, yeah. Well, soon to be former team.
Right.
So we're about to go from paying Lloyd Cushenberry, who I don't even think he missed a game during his time, who became the highest paid center. Well,
I was going to say, wait a minute, but that's context.
And then now we're going to go and pay Tyler Linderbaum to be the highest paid center. So we're going to have a few years apart, the two highest paid centers.
There's no other free agent center?
There's some guys like Connor McGovern. Maybe you could put Dylan Parham.
Didn't the offensive line coach somebody that's a free agent?
Dylan Parham can play center. So Tyler Biadasz, I don't know how you pronounce his last name.
Notice how you didn't look
Tyler
at me.
Badass. We're gonna call him Tyler Badass, who got released from the Commanders.
That's a badass name.
Yeah, he got released from the Commanders. He's an ascending talent. Nick Suss of the Tennessean reported that Keelan Rutledge is who is a rookie or a prospect in this draft class who played on the interior offensive line at Georgia Tech. He's really caught the Tennessee Titans' eyes. He could play center if need be, but he's probably more of a guard. Maybe you put Jackson Slater there. But these are all pretty big risks you're asking. Oh, there is one. Connor McGovern, who played, I believe, for the Bills.
Yes, that's who I'm talking about.
That's who you're talking about.
And
he worked with Dable, I believe, but 1 year. And then he went somewhere else.
But they drafted him there.
Yeah, yes, that is correct.
Yeah, that's
so
it.
that would be the guy I think you're thinking of. It just hit me.
Can you get that cost-effective analysis?
Probably.
Right, and he'd be just as good as Cushenberry.
You can't really do worse than Cush. But I will say these all come with risk besides Tyler Linderbaum, because this is a new center now that, Cam Ward's going to have to learn under different guy calling protections. What do you do at right guard? Talks from PK over at PK.com. He's reporting that Kevin Zeitler and Chigakonkwo are priority free agents they want to keep and try their best to keep before free agency starts. So that would be good to buy you some time.
Did you just say Zeitler?
Zeitler, yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. A lot of people have really turned the corner on Zeitler. I thought he played fine. I'm thinking it's time to find a new guard myself.
I'm going to say this, at the right price.
At the right price.
Not that price he paid last year.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
He got better as the season went on,
So I'm not really big on this move. And I've said this before he even got cut, that I don't know if I would cut Lloyd Cushenberry because I don't really like the timing of it. And that's my issue. Isn't that you cut the player because he wasn't living up to his contract. It's that what you're going into a free agent and draft market that doesn't have a lot of centers that aren't going to cost you high to upgrade that position.
Was the guy better than him that was at Buffalo?
I think they're probably the same. He's probably better because he's healthier.
But he'll be cheaper.
Hopefully he'll be cheaper.
Oh, he will be.
I don't know. Apparently, we talked about the cap spending. Mm-hmm. They have to spend a certain amount of money over 3 years. Tennessee Titans are going to be all over it. No big deal. Other teams are not close at all, which I'm very surprised. So there's rumors coming from the combine that Zion Johnson, who is a guard from the Chargers, is going to get $20 million a year because teams have to spend money that are a little bit behind the eight ball, and someone's going to overpay for some of these guys.
Oh, yeah.
And so I know people overpay in every free agent market, but way overpay.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. For me, it's just it's kind of bad time. Like, there are guys in this draft. Sam Hecht from Kansas State. I already mentioned Keelan Rutledge, Logan Jones from Iowa. There's a couple of SEC guys, Parker Brailsford from Alabama, Jake Slaughter. Like, they're all good, but you don't know what they are. I mean, you kind of had a good, at least, baseline of what Lloyd Cushenberry would be.
Maybe they go
Corey Levin.
Corey Levin.
Maybe they go Corey Levin, but can he? I don't think he can go a full 17 games.
Well, okay, but
and maybe they go Jackson Slater, right? Like, Jackson Slater's still there.
He plays center a little bit.
He can play center. So it's just a big. It's one of those things where I don't like. You're creating a big question mark in a time where the market doesn't really sway your.
Well,
so I mean, if you came away with Tyler Linderbaum, I'm not going to sit here and complain about it.
They're starting to show signs of players that they think don't fit their system scheme or not playing up to the numbers. They're getting rid of them. That's what it looks like. And so to me, then they may draft a player. That kind of thought process is they're going to draft the best player on the board.
I would think Keelan Rutledge would be that guy really high on that list.
Yeah.
And I listen, watch his tape. That dude's a dog. He's got a mean streak in him. Like, he's a mean man.
I always relate to those guys.
Yeah, he is something. But I understand why they did it. I didn't think it was a necessity to cut him. Understand why. It's just that this is not a great year to find his replacement. We'll see what they do. Like I said, if they walk away with Tyler Linderbaum, I'm not going to really sit here and complain. That's a major upgrade. It's going to cost you, but hey, not my money. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're getting that good of a center, ain't my money. But you got to walk away with that kind of a guy, or hopefully whatever Carmen Priscillo can do too, right? I mean, that's a guy that's kind of shown he can get the most out of a lot of players, and Dylan Parham can play center, who's a free agent, who has ties to Carmen Bursillo from their days at the Raiders. I mean, there's other guys you can get, but I don't think Dylan Parham's taking a snap at center in the NFL, so
I don't know.
That's a lot of ifs.
I think they know something we don't.
I'm sure they do. Hey, listen,
make this move.
Come from the Combine, I can guarantee you one thing, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. John Franklin Myers, he's going to be on this Tennessee Titans team.
Yeah, the D tackle.
Yeah, the D tackle. He's going to be on this Tennessee Titans team. We'll talk more about the Combine scuttlebutt tomorrow as well. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone. 3HL's up next. And in the meantime.
And in between time, peace, sweat.